Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me for day 4 of Inktober. Today on my Galaxy Girls prompt list, I am working on Taurus. If you're following along in real time, sorry, this video is going to be posted pretty late. I am tired. I'm definitely tired at this point. It's starting to get to me. My body just wouldn't let me keep working last night. It's just like, stop. Lie down now. So hopefully you don't mind. I'm sure you understand. Everybody has been super encouraging throughout this process so far. I will do my best to post them at a decent time, but for today, it's gonna be a little late. Tomorrow might be a little late as well, because if you don't know, I am a college instructor at Laguna College of Art and Design. I teach a class that myself and Ashley Eisenicki, you might know her by Miss You Pacey, created called Artist as Entrepreneur. Essentially, it's a class that focuses on utilizing social media, online marketing, conventions, freelance work, stuff like that to make a living with your own artwork. So basically what Ashley and I are doing for our careers. I graduated from LCAD in 2016, so not that long ago. So it was a huge honor to be asked back to teach this class. Thank you so much, LCAD. Anyway, let's get on to this piece. While looking for inspiration for Taurus, I just fell in love with bowls. I looked at so many pictures on Pinterest of bowls, and they're just so chunky and adorable. And I was so sad because there were so many bullfighting images, and I just hate that so much, those poor bulls. I just love their big old faces. So now I just want to draw bulls all the time. I also used a lot of color in this piece, as you can see. I saw that Taurus's ruling color is green, so I wanted to play with some varying types of greens, maybe a little blues, and have it look like a nebula in the background. I really like how this turned out. Let me know if you liked that much color in the piece. I would love to play with more color. If you're wondering what I'm using, I have a supply video that I posted before Inktober began, but basically the background is watercolors that I have put salt into, so that gives it the spread out texture, and then ink on top. I've received some comments wondering if you're allowed to use watercolor during Inktober. The creator of Inktober, Jake Parker, has posted on his Instagram and social media that yes, it is meant to be with ink, an ink challenge. However, it's mainly just challenging yourself to draw every day. And in my opinion, as long as I'm using ink as the majority of the skill here, that's fine. Also, watercolor is pretty permanent, so it's like using ink. There's really no difference to me between using colored ink wash and watercolor. I just have more watercolors available to me, so that's why I'm using them. It's also more of a background, so for me, I am challenging myself with Inktober like it's supposed to be done, in that I'm making an illustration every day and I'm posting to YouTube every day. So to me, that's a huge challenge. And so if I want to use a little watercolor in the background, I think that's fine. What do you guys think? Do you think it has to be all ink, only ink? Or do you think using another permanent type of medium like watercolor is okay? Another comment I've been receiving is, what type of salt do you use, and is there a difference between different types? I originally started using just table salt, but as you can see in her hair, there's some bigger spots, and with that I was using pink Himalayan salt that hasn't been ground up, so it's big chunks of salt. When I've used that in the past, it hasn't worked very well, but I've found that if I put the bigger chunks into a more wet area, it tends to spread out a lot more once it dries. I am starting to find that different coarse salts do different textures. I think I'm going to make an entirely separate video. I'll have to probably do it once Inktober's over, since I'm so busy right now, but later on I'll make a video of let's test different salt. I also am using a medium grain salt. I think it's just a type of rock salt, but it's not quite table salt and it's not quite huge. So yeah, that's why I'm getting different types of texture now. Now here, I unfortunately loved her face at first and then overworked it really bad and I couldn't go back. So for the sake of Inktober, here she is. But since I am kickstarting this series as a book and making prints and a bunch of other fun stuff with it, I did end up going over digitally over her face, just a little bit, barely anything at all, but I'll show you in the end clip. Hopefully you don't think that's cheating. But as a professional illustrator, when you do make a book, you want it to be, I'm not going to not change it to be the way I want it just because of the Inktober challenge, especially when it is such a slight shift. I could technically do it with traditional media. It's cleaner digitally, and I want you to see what it looks like without the change right here. I actually finished this piece a little bit faster than the other one, so sorry it's a bit of a shorter video. This will also help me get my other stuff uploaded quicker. Here she is, riding her celestial bull through the nebula. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope if you're a Taurus, this speaks to you in some way. Again, the originals will be available when my Kickstarter launches or at the end of the month, depending on what I release. And I will give you a date for the Kickstarter pretty soon. Here is the slightly edited version, the digital version. As you can see, not much has changed. I just switched it up a little bit so it was cleaner. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Leave me a like and subscribe if you want to follow along with my work. Tomorrow is day 5, the chameleon, which is very special to me, and I will even be bringing out my very own panther chameleon pets. Bye!